Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Sometimes you get a matchup and two undefeated fighters and one is just entire levels above the other. And that brings us to Shakur Stevenson, who at 25 years of age is getting his man strength. And my goodness, is this guy a threat? Yes, he is. A few years ago, about 3 years ago, I looked at Stevenson and I thought, the guy's got all the raw materials, but I'm going to reserve judgment. Because sometimes these flash and dash merchants, they, even when they get older, they sort of maintain that style, and it's all a bit sort of samey. It's all a bit, you know, it doesn't matter what the opponent's like, what the opponent does, they just fight the same way. It's almost like there's a lack of imagination. They're relying on their speed too much, and they're not Stevenson. The jury's not out now. Stevenson is the real thing, and has shown it in the past, of course. Recently, he's, like I say, he's getting his man strength now, and he is standing his ground and standing right in front of guys and just beating the living tar out of them. Because, you know, Stevenson's previous fights, I mean, if you go back to sort of 2021, the back end of 2021, I think it was October, when he beat Jamel Herring, stopped him in 10 rounds. That's a very good win, and that won him the world super featherweight title. Then he outpointed Oscar Valdez, completely dominated him, won most, if not all, of the rounds. That unified the WBC and WBO super feather titles. He defended them against Robinson Conceição, another 12-round unanimous decision, very, very wide. Not very exciting, that one. And I think he missed weight for that fight as well. So he got stripped of both those belts. So he defended them, he actually got stripped of them. So, of course, the inevitable move was, let's go up to lightweight. And who to take on but an undefeated fighter? Shuichiro Yoshino of Japan. 16 wins, no defeats, no draws. He had a good 2022, did Yoshino. He beat Nakatani, Masayoshi Nakatani, stopped him in 6 rounds. Good win, very, very good win. Prior to that, he won a technical decision over at 11 against Masayuki Ito. So, you know, a really good 2022, and he came in and he gave everything. I mean, he really did. He didn't stop trying, didn't stop throwing punches. He was huffing and puffing and getting up, desperately trying to get up close and landing punches whenever he could. Didn't matter whether it was the arms or the elbows or the shoulders, and it might even have occasionally hit Stevenson, you know, on the head or the body. But Stevenson, this is it, you see. If the art of boxing is tying together offense and defense and interlocking them, then Stevenson is really beginning to look the part. He really, really is, because he looked levels above Yoshino, and Yoshino trying his heart out, didn't stop trying till the end. Stevenson looked completely relaxed from the word go. At no point did he appear in any way, didn't have a sense of urgency, didn't appear perturbed in any shape or form, was just, and when I say going through the motions, I don't mean he was complacent, far from it. He was throwing hard, tight, compact punches, some of them short, some of them long. He was throwing check hooks when he needed to. He's a southpaw, so his right hand jab was as hard and as accurate as many other skillful fighters. Crosses. Very rarely threw wide punches, unless when I say he didn't throw wide punches, occasionally he would bang to the body. But even the wide punches had such speed on them. They didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't seem wide. They weren't sloppy. They weren't looping punches. They were coming from the sides. Yeah, they were wide in that sense, but they were so fast and snappy and compact that it was a sight to behold. It really was. I mean, this kid can fight. He really can. He's only 25, Stevenson. Yoshino's 31, but it really looked like Yoshino was the boy and Stevenson was the man in this fight. First round, not much happened. Stevenson just had a look at him. Second round, put Yoshino on the floor. This was from a southpaw, so it would be a left cross, I think it was, as Yoshino was coming in. Yoshino wasn't that badly hurt, but he got up, went back to to desperately trying to score punches, but taking a ton of punishment. In the fourth round, this was a thing of beauty. Shakur Stevenson in the towards the end of the fourth round, he fired a. Let me get this right now. It was a sort of left hook, I guess, that swept aside Yoshino's defence. And then within a flash, he fired a right hand, but bear in mind he's a southpaw, that cracked Yoshino on the jaw and put him over near the ropes, I think it was. Yoshino got up. It was the end of the round. But again, I mean, real beautiful technique from Stevenson. Really, really good. And such imagination. Like I was, like I said before, sometimes fighters, when they're flash and dash, it gets a bit unimaginative. It gets a bit samey. Not this time. No, not this time. This Shakur Stevenson has got every tool in the box, and he knows when to take them out at what time. Controls the range beautifully with jabs. Again, doesn't run. Good footwork. Controls the range, no problem. But doesn't run at all. Actually, doesn't give that many angles, not really. I mean, he sidesteps, maybe a little half step occasionally, just to sort of find the spaces. But I suppose against Yoshino, you can argue, well, Yoshino was a come forward pressure guy, typical Japanese style, very, very courageous, very, very industrious, looking to throw lots of punches and put pressure on you. But at no point was Stevenson perturbed. This was a terrific performance by Stevenson. And then in the sixth round, I mean, every round was won by Stevenson easily, except maybe the first, where they kind of just had a look at the guy. But in the sixth round, he was railing on Yoshino, and the referee just stepped in out of the blue. It wasn't one punt. There was for the umpteenth time, Yoshino was shaken, was rattled, but he wasn't buzzed or anything. And the referee just stepped in and said, "I've seen enough of this." And you know what? Whereas in most fights you would say, "Oh, that's a massively premature stoppage. What's he doing, the referee?" It was almost like a sense of relief. No one complained, including Yoshino in his corner. Stevenson was just beating the living doo-doo out of him. It was, and Yoshino, he wanted to win. He was there to win. He was trying to win. He was giving everything. Levels. That's what it's all about, I guess. So well done to Shakur Stevenson. What a performance! You can argue that the quality of the opposition, the styles gelled in Stevenson's favour. Okay, I get it. We shouldn't, maybe sing the praises too much. But this was an undefeated guy who came to win. It was a proven pressure fighter. And Stevenson just toyed with him. But of course, Stevenson now at 135. Devin Haney and Loma are going to fight. I'm going to say it right now. I think Stevenson knocks out Haney. I really do. And of course, Haney will put up you would think, will put up a better fight than Yoshino. Yoshino showed a good jaw. The black mark, potential black mark against Haney is that he perhaps doesn't have the greatest of chins, but I don't know, maybe we're being a bit unkind there. But I think Stevenson actually will knock Haney out. I really do think. That's my immediate reaction. I'll have a look at Haney versus Loma to start with, before I make an absolute judgment. But that's my impression at the moment. And for Yoshino, he's got to go drop down a level. He might be able to pick up a vacant title or two, but not while you got Stevenson and Haney on the scene. He's clearly a few levels below them. So what do you think of this fight? It was a top-rank headliner. Give me your opinions. Leave your comments below. I like reading your comments. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. We always appreciate that. We want to build the channel up, and your support, believe me, it's always appreciated. So thanks for your time, and we'll speak again soon. Bye-bye for now.